I always like to stand and talk. I told very clear that I feel younger when I stand it, especially when addressing younger staff. Yeah. Good evening. Thank you very much. Uh, it was a little longer introduction of me. It's not so long. Shortly, I'm just a great human being, and still trying to do that. I like to thank the dignitaries who have come all the way from outside India. It was pleasure seeing you over here. And ladies and gentlemen, and students, girls and boys, thank you very much. First, I would like to thank and congratulate NITHM Director, Mr. Chinnam Reddy Garu, for organizing this great event, which was as a noble cause of sustainable mines. And I was actually not that much aware of mines, but when I started looking at mines and thinking it's a great concept, great idea, especially on the tourism subject. I strongly feel that this is the most important area of focus for the modern progressive world. Lexus Hyderabad has a small role in this event as a luxury mobility partner. And I like to congratulate Chinnam Reddy Garu again. I think he's not here, but I like to congratulate him that he has already saved 117 kg of carbon emission in the last 4 days. We have been the mobility partner, and we gave Lexus and Toyota vehicles to commute the dignitaries and the guests to this event, and from the airport to the hotel. And almost around 610 kilometers our vehicles have run. And in the 610 kilometers, almost 60% of the drive, that is around 467% precisely, I just got just now the data, 67 precisely is electric drive. The vehicles what we used is a hybrid vehicle where almost out of 610 kilometers, 400 kilometers in electric drive where we have not used any fuel. So that means an average of around, I can say 192 grams of carbon per kilometer has been saved as a initiative for this particular event. So I think it's a great contribution. What we are trying to, it's a small contribution, but again, it's a great effort by the team over here to make that MICE tourism concept as a reality. So I think that's very interesting. And Lexus actually is a very young brand. They came a little late compared to the rest of the brands of luxury cars. But yes, they have got a very strong, I should say, a challenge or a kind of commitment towards environmental saving, and also at the same time trying to neutralize the carbon content. So Lexus India actually plants around 13 trees with every vehicle sold. 13 trees every vehicle sold. That Lexus owner, it neutralizes the carbon content through the life cycle of that vehicle. If the vehicle is used by any Lexus owner for say around 7 or 8 years, whatever carbon neutrality emission happens to the vehicles, these 13 plants which we planted will take care of those carbon emission content. Because the plants take carbon dioxide and emit oxygen. So that's how we neutralize it. And this is the only brand which does diligently this kind of activities in India. And we have planted so far 67,000 plants across India when we delivered almost like 3,800 vehicles in the last 4 years. And Lexus vehicles effectively use technology, where I was just going through when you're talking about MICE tourism, they're talking about 3 R's. These are pillars, and we also diligently follow these 3 R's concept. And at every stage of our vehicle, stages, like for instance, not the stages, I can say vehicle ownership. It starts from the designing, conceptualizing, manufacturing, testing, and then going to the actual guest, the owner, and the moment he starts using it till the life cycle of that particular vehicle on the road. So we use that 3 R's. I mean, as rightly said, it is reduce, reuse, and at the same time recycle. Every component, everything, we talk about 3 R's. We reduce, we keep reducing it. Like recently, we had one of the vehicle, Lexus LX 570 has been launched. We reduced the weight of it by using some special materials by almost like 210 kgs, which has improved the efficiency and performance of the vehicle by having less reduction of carbon emissions on this one. And apart from that, there are some material which has been mostly reusable. We have reduced the plastic content, use a synthetic which is more environmental friendly. So like it, we keep utilizing the technology which is more environmental friendly for the sustenance, and at the same time, ensuring that the future generations are safe on this. Now, energy is one more thing. We are the first in the world to get these hybrid vehicles. The transformation of the mobility started from petrol, then diesel, and then we are talking more about electric now. We have got into electric, but not so aggressively because we know that infrastructure is still not ready. So we have got into hybrid, which is electric plus fuel, that is petrol. That's the reason I started saying that here when we utilized our vehicles, 610 kilometers we have run in the last 4 days. In that, 67% of the entire journey was on electric. So that means we have never used a fuel. The entire environment was safe by using that electric drive. We have electric and petrol. So it is a reusable one. And in this technology, what happens is that the heat which is generated through braking, the acceleration, the speeding, this converted into electric energy to recharge the battery. That's the reason the battery life is 8 years. Normally the battery life, one normally you get is around 3 to 4 years. We have doubled it, 8 years. So again, it's a matter of, it is contributing to the sustenance of the world environment, and at the same time, how we could add value to, as a brand, as a Lexus a brand, into human evolution on this one. So this is what I would like to say, because there's a lot more to talk about it, but I can see the excitement what you all have in hearing some more of the visitors over here. I love to visit them also, but now I'll be more open to ask, open for any questions you have on the mobility part of it. Anything, it could be mobility or the luxury mobility, but it has a big role in, I should say, the MICE tourism. Big role. It has become a talk of the town. We have a G20 happening in Delhi. There also, this is one of the subjects, how we can transform from the fuels, conventional fuels, to the electric. I mean, Indian government has said by 2030, the entire vehicle should be electric. We are also ready for that one. The Lexus is going to have entire electric line of vehicles by 2025. But the transition happening through hybrid and then the complete electric. So we are always in the forefront to ensure that whatever is required in sustenance of the energy, and also at the same time the evolution of the new technologies, we are there in the front to take care of that. Thank you very much, and that's what I would say. Any questions, feel free. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have one hand raised.
Hi sir, my name is Baza. I'm once again a student here in NITHM. I'm a final year BBA. And since we've speaking about sustainable development and sustainability, and we're talking about changing a different way of exploring fuel. Let's say we spoke about changing into electrical cars and then electrical methods, right? So it's a very challenging topic to talk about because when we want to implement something new into the world the way it is now, as we know, if we're going to convert from fuel to electrical, it's a very intriguing thing when the company actually will face real small challenges through other companies, if we can say that. Because if we want to change into electrical, we have to think about all those companies who's into providing petrol to other platforms as well. So that will cause a big impact in the world. I'd like to know how, if that happened, how would you guys be working into to solve or to deal with that type of challenge that might come from other companies and be hitting you in terms of, like exploring that area, and actually will be putting some companies also in the background. So how would you deal with that situation when it comes?
Thank you, Buzz. I think this is the first time I'm hearing such a long question. I was just trying to, Yeah, so it was quite a long question, and but very interesting. Thank you very much. You see, always when there is a change, it is associated with challenges. There are various challenges which normally resist a change. But again, change is always good. Good for generations, present, and also for the future. So we have to accept the change. Well, while accepting the change or transforming to the change, it may take some time. And the time is because the infrastructure which is required for the change has to be ready, not only the physical infrastructure, the emotional infrastructure, the motivational infrastructure, financial infrastructure, everything has to be, collaborated so that the change happens smoothly. And once the change happens, you will see a different life altogether. And there is a reason behind that. And whatever decisions the government has taken, the government will take for the benefit of the masses or the people. And we are talking about electrification of automobile industry since last 6-7 years, but last 3-4 years it has become more frequent and more aggressive. The governments are meeting frequently to change or start a policy matter, regulations, and that's how, as the government stringents or tightens the regulations, the change happens a little more faster. So as per the change, you can see new technologies coming up. So the new technologies adopted by the previous, like for instance, when you're talking about the petrol stations, you'll say, okay, what will happen to the petrol station? There are thousands and lakhs of petrol stations, people are working over there. That can be converted to the electric charge stations. Always there will be a alternative opportunities available when the change happens. Only we have to look for it, adopt to that one. We cannot just camp over there in the previous technology or previous lifestyle and think that we'll grow. No, if you want to grow, if you want to progress, you have to have a change, and the change comes only by shifting from the previous method to the new method, or a new, I should say, the direction. So it's the right direction, accept it. Some governments are adopting very fast based on their readiness. Some governments are taking time, but it will be there in the near future. It's good for the world and good for the people living in this world. Thank you very much. I hope it answered it. Thank you. I love to hear this kind of claps. It's like a music for me. Thank you very much. Nice enough. Too much music is also noise, yeah? Okay, I think if there is no other question, I can just go in. Oh, thank you.
Hi, Imad.
Hi.
How do you see the transition from electric vehicles to hydrogen-powered vehicles? Do you see it coming soon?
Yes. Change is contagious, and I think this change is going to come very fast. Already a lot of R&D has been done, Toyota is the first company to have a prototype of hydrogen vehicle. They are already running a trial since last 1 year. And fortunately, I was there in November, and I had a chance to see that vehicle drive. I did not drive it, but I have seen driving it. And it is a great vehicle, and I think that will going to transform the entire energy industry, and it's going to be a much more advanced, much more better. And the only thing what they're trying to do is that how it can be made more affordable, and that's where the work is going on. But I think that is the next level of electric. Electric also going to impact a bit on the environment, but this hydrogen is going to be a more sustainable and recyclable one.